So Twitter is, I think, the thing that's been in the media the most of late. The breakdown of Twitter visitors is that 93% are over 24 and 42% are over 45. So I think the perception that social media is for young people is no longer there, and I think that the audiences are changing. LinkedIn is another great social media tool which you can utilise, and all of these are free, and that's why I'm mentioning them, because I don't think you necessarily have to have a massive budget in order to start implementing some new online technologies. Why should you implement these technologies? Because it will touch on many areas of your business, such as PR, customer service, sales, marketing. It's great for research and feedback. You can reach early adopters and influential stakeholders, and you'll get accessibility to those that are high up. So I want to show you a quick little video of how social media can impact a company. So let me just...
An internet hit. Ever wonder who's behind some of the bizarrely hilarious creations that make the rounds online? Well, yesterday we noticed a practical joke on Flickr, the photo sharing site. A group of friends taped Post-it notes on their colleague's car, and their handiwork has been viewed more than 150,000 times, including by us here at the webcast.
My name is Scott Abelman, and I helped cover my coworker's car with Post-it notes. Practical jokes are a little bit of a tradition in our company, and we have one colleague who loves his Jaguar. He parks it in the most remote corner of the garage so that he can avoid getting dinged by anybody else. So it just was something that had to be done. About a dozen of us went down to the garage and covered his car in Post-it notes. It took us about 2 hours in total. We worked fast. It looks like a pretty nice design. We were very proud of the effort. When it was all done, some of us decided it needed a finishing touch and just put his name on the back window. When Walt saw the car, he said, "Where did my car go?" According to Flickr, these photos have over 150,000 views. It's quite a distraction, actually, to have suddenly become an internet sensation. We've seen links to these photos from blogs all over the country, as well as Spain, France, Germany, the Netherlands, all over the world. It's funny, I work for an internet company in Phonic, but I've never experienced anything like this. A lot of people try to create something viral, and you know it. You can smell it as soon as it happens. And then when you're not trying at all, something like this just blindsides you. And that's one reason the internet's so wonderful. True democracy.
Okay, so the reason why I'm showing you this video is not so you can go out and Post-it note your neighbour's car, but really this was an opportunity for 3M to really use the publicity that had occurred from this and take it in a positive way. Unfortunately, they approached the gentleman and said, "Can we use your photos in a national advertising campaign?" which was very clever and very, very witty. And he said, "Sure, of course, as long as you pay me, because it was my idea and I came up with it." And they said no. So what they did was they said, "No, we're not going to pay you. We can do it ourselves cheaper, and we'll do that." So what they did was they replicated exactly what he had done, and they put it in all of their stores, and they used it in their national advertising campaign. The problem is this created really, really bad PR for 3M, because people were saying this isn't right, this isn't fair. So where they could have embraced a really good social media story for $2,000, that's all he wanted for the photos, for $2,000, they said no, and they created a massive negative PR campaign. So if I just go back to this, video and we kind of scroll down, and I haven't censored these, so if there's any rude words, please excuse me. But okay, so you'll see some of the comments on there, which was, "Can't believe 3M, they have $24.5 billion and they refuse to pay a $2,000 licensing fee. Bunch of cheapskates. Shame on you, 3M. Did you ever hear of copyright? Creeps," and the list goes on. So they had the potential to harness this campaign for $2,000. They had worldwide international coverage for free, and they didn't do it. So I think it was a missed opportunity. I think one of the reasons why they probably refused to pay was because they maybe didn't have buy-in from everyone on the team. Maybe not everyone understood the power of social media. So gaining buy-in is very important. There's a low cost of entry. Like I said to you, Twitter, LinkedIn, they're all free. However, it does take time and creativity, really. But if you can invest some time and not necessarily financial, and then start tracking your results, that's a better proposition to go higher up and say, okay, now I need some real money. A percentage of budget, I'll come on to that, is sometimes a good idea to just allocate to social media or online tools. Just test a little bit and see if you're getting results. You don't have to try and do too much all at once. But I think it should definitely still be part of your overall marketing campaign. When you're doing these social media campaigns, you should be looking at return on investment. And so you can't track all of it, and you can't put it's not going to instantly result in sales, but you could look at kind of feedback on your brand, customer satisfaction if you're answering inquiries via social media. You should be able to see kind of traffic to your site rise. Our clients have the ability to use campaign trackers or vanity URLs, so that if they're posting those in Twitter or on websites, if someone clicks on them, they can tell how many people have come through. But Forrester, eConsultancy, all of those have IT metrics that you can measure social media measurement on. I don't want to go into that because it's quite technical, but if someone has a question about it later, we can discuss it. Now, I wanted to bring up the case study of McDonald's because I think it's a really interesting one. They're not an online retailer, but their consumer base is very, very active. I would have assumed, seeing how big McDonald's were, that their digital media or their online strategy would be quite done and dusted. They'd know what they're doing. But they had a new head of marketing start in 2007. And the kind of middle of last year, she gave an interview, and her name's Jill McDonald, so it was always a good synergy. She gave an interview and said they've stepped back as a company to look at what they were doing online. So they were going through the steps that I've just discussed before. They were looking at who are they targeting and what goal did they want to achieve. And their goal was to engage and entertain. But what they were only doing was online advertising through banners. Their coupons that they were offering weren't very successful as traditional door drops. So they stepped back and decided to instigate a new strategy for the end of 2008 and 2009. They started, they did have makeupyourownmind.co.uk in 2007, which is a website where consumers can go and ask any questions about McDonald's, so about their food, about their employment, all of the rumours that you hear, do they use pig fat, all that kind of stuff. People can go on and openly ask questions, and McDonald's will come back and reply. So it's fantastic that McDonald's can connect with consumers, but they've got to take the bad with the good, and that's what happens with social media. You can't control it. All you can do is contribute and make sure that you're being, I guess, as honest and as cooperative as you can be. They're now using Twitter for Monopoly. In 2008, they had out their Monopoly games, so they were using it specifically for that campaign, not just a general McDonald's corporate discussion. They're using MySpace too for a competition about a Big Mac chant or something. They're also using YouTube for advertising, and if people are posting their videos, there's some of them they've included in their own viral advertising, and they're actively seeking out people that are blogging about their company and replying to them. Overall, they spend about 9% of their media budget online, and they believe it doesn't just stay with marketing, it incorporates all areas of the business. So I thought it was an interesting kind of case study to think, okay, McDonald's must have a massive budget. They must know everything there is to know about online media, and they're probably in the same position as most companies are, saying, okay, it's quite new. How are we going to harness this? What are we going to do?